This has been a real game changer for me. Basically take a folder in my Zo, treat that as the Obsidian vault, and sync it up to go back and forth and get a two-way sync. This is probably the first and best web browser setup that I saw, and I'm just still scratching the surface with it. Hey everybody, welcome back to Stack Stacks. I'm Swiki, and today we're going to build something that I've wanted to exist actually for a really long time, and I'm super excited about it. So we are going to take our new favorite app, Zo, and we're going to combine it with Obsidian, and we are going to create an integration that we're going to be able to interact with some of our Obsidian nodes inside of a web browser. Like I said, this is something that I've just wanted to exist for so long that I've never really been able to get a great system down, and today we are going to set all that up. So let's get right into it. Okay, so what you can see here is this is how we're going to sync the two together. Obsidian has a headless sync, which we can use by installing this package and then basically running these commands, right? So the nice thing about setting this up with Zo is basically it'll tell us what needs to be done. So I said, hey, can you set this up? And I already had this set up, so there's going to be some mentions of, hey, you already have this installed. What's going on? Do you have your vault set up for Obsidian? So it'll give you that kind of breakdown and give you those kind of details. So if we go over to my agents, and then we're going to sync the Obsidian Zo vault. So I made a new vault inside of Obsidian, and it's going to run this command. And then we're going to do this every day at 3 a.m. So what it's going to do is basically take a folder in my Zo, treat that as the Obsidian vault, and sync it up to Obsidian and go back and forth and get a two-way sync. So if I put a new file inside of Obsidian, then it'll also sync down here at 3 a.m. So if we go and we look at, I have an Obsidian folder. Right, so now these folders will then go ahead and sync with Obsidian. So now let's actually see if we can open our vault. Okay, so now I am inside my vault, and this is the same folder structure that we had set up in our Zo. And so what does this unlock, right? So Obsidian, just for those that don't know, it is a note-taking app that stores all your files locally. You can use different ways to keep those files in sync, back those files up. But now what this unlocks is we now have access to some of these files in a web browser, so we can have that different sync. Also, too, if we are using these files inside of Zo, we can then open up our Zo with the AI chat, and we can have some AI experiences with these notes. And also, too, it still allows us to have these notes inside of the Obsidian mobile app as well. So if you are running sync, so it opens up a lot of awesome workflows if you are Obsidian user. This was actually one barrier of entry for me to not using Obsidian, was not having access to certain notes inside of a web browser. This has been really cool for me to kind of, like I said, set up some of those different things. And I know there's a lot of people out there who love Obsidian, so I think you guys will find this is probably the first and best web browser setup that I saw with your notes. So I think this is super awesome, and this kind of shows how you can build stuff for you, set up these cool integrations, and get some of the software and services that you guys use to do these new awesome things. So this has been absolutely a real kind of game changer for me. And I'm just still scratching the surface with it, but it just feels like I've been able to use an app that I did fall in love with that I wasn't able to use regularly. So for those Obsidian users out there, let me know if you guys try this out and see if this is part of your workflow, and would love to hear from you. So thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Talk to everybody soon.